think I better do up my zip so I don't get stung. Hell, I can't reach them. I'll do that in a minute. I feel like a little kid sitting up here. They've got me shockers pumped up pretty hard. We've got a few swarm catching boxes that are needing a bit of love because they went in the wrong box. I had them getting set up and the bees have made themselves at home before I was ready for them. So now we've got to sort them out so we've got some workable nest of bees to play with. Or hive of bees, box of bees, hive of bees. Something to do with bees anyway, that's what this show's about. So come along and see how to rescue a swarm box that's not really meant to have had a swarm, but you're not going to scare them off when you catch them. Once upon a midnight dreary. Do you reckon we could come up with a new musical instrument? Why? What do you reckon? I reckon it'd be a bit hard to tune though, wouldn't it? Sounds a little bit like a rowboat. It'll be a whole new thing. I mean, we've gone from swing, well, we've gone from classical to swing to rock and roll to hip hop to rap, and now we're going to have the bee super box. Well, that's nearly even, it sounds like music even anyway. I'm not really looking forward to summer, I don't think. It's only about 30 degrees and, oh, I've forgotten how jolly hot it is in these bee suits with the sun on. Man. Anyway, in this box there's a bit of fun. We'll have a show you in a second. We didn't bring the fucking queen excluders. Just typical it is. I suppose I remembered half of the gear that we wanted. I remembered the frames. Anyway, we're either going to have to play the music or have a little snip because we've just got to go home and get the queen excluders that some bright spark forgot. So, see you in a minute. Fuck it. Wasn't that shit off? Talk about organised chaos. Oh, you're not still filming me. Stop it. Don't show the viewers how blooming disorganised I am. You're supposed to edit out all the disorganised bits. Otherwise the episodes would run for 2 hours of watching me mess it up. Stop it. Come on, or I'll leave you behind. Oh, yeah. Actually, I'll show you that too. I didn't even get to that point. I'll show you how to clean up these queen excluders. But anyway, we'll do that another episode. Come on, hurry up, cameraman. We're running late. The audience is beckoning with anticipation as to how to rescue their swarm box. If you don't get in the car, they won't know what's going on.
Oh shit, I just ripped my pants.
It's a long way to Tipperary, it's a long way to go. We've been for a little drive. Yeah, we'll just get ourselves organised. I think if I get this done, I think I'm going to have to give my beautiful BB suit a wash. I'm looking a bit dishevelled all this hive checking. Pull my neck. They'll be like, what the hell happened to that? Anyway, here we go. We're organised. I just got a text message. I think I've just won the lottery, so the show might be over. Anyway, just an instant replay. Well, not even an instant replay. It's a reboot. I'm a little bit like one of those reboot shows. I know. What was that? What's the latest reboot now? They've got. The hell, I was listening. Anyway, I should shelter up. Busy bees. Goodness me. Oh shit, what are we doing? Sorry. Here I am just gawking at how pretty they look. Charge! Well, I don't think it did them any harm going down to those apples under the nets. The other bloke that I was talking to said that they really suffer under the nets. Maybe those cool little red flags are the answer, so they can find their way back home. I mean, I saw a few tangled up in the roof, but all in all, they look pretty happy. Now, this one has got some interesting things going on the roof. Heck, I wonder if our smoke is still awake. You still awake? Puffing Billy. There's one little tiny speck of burning hessian in there somewhere. I wonder if you had a microphone on those bellows and then you had someone rattling the bee box. That would be the percussions, wouldn't it? That would be the percussion instruments. And then you'd have to find a guitar. What would you use for the guitar? Nah. I saw these cool dudes and they were in the mall and they were playing I reckon they had rubbish bins and buckets and shit. And they were awesome. They're making a really cool tune. I think you get some interesting responses if you're trying to busk with a box of bees. Anyway, what have we got going on, ladies? Over here, I reckon, says on our report that over here there's no frames. So, because they made themselves at home before the frames were totally organised. So hopefully we can get this open again. Hopefully back here soon enough. So you can see that they're dangling from the roof here a bit. And they've made the whole jolly nest on the side, of course. God, just to be helpful. Oh, this is a solid box too, isn't it? There's not a lot of eggs there, but there's eggs all down in the bottom there. They're long bum bees. So I reckon we're just going to sit that out the front here for a minute. Because I don't think, it doesn't look like there's much brood up in this lot. But I reckon it's mainly just honey stores. But it's obviously not ideal. Rightio, so I figure we'll just put this down the front here. Hopefully we can get everybody to run up back home. If we're lucky. But the biggest problem we've got is the jolly frames of brood down the bottom here that we don't want to lose. Cool, so that's getting our ladies off this honeycomb and running back home. I was just thinking maybe I should have done it the other way around, but it doesn't really matter. I'm smoking up the cameraman. Some of the biggest excitement we've got is in here. We've got all the nice blooming brood comb laid up, which we don't want to lose because that's a whole lot of effort to raise them many babies. But we can't really leave them like this. So we're just going to tidy up this little bit on the top. And then, I don't know, maybe the cameraman can film over my shoulder and you can have a look in this hole. I'm just wondering if I lift this, it's sort of half hooked to that frame, but not really. So, wouldn't you think they could have just built over here where there was frames? Wouldn't that have been helpful? But no, of course that'd be too much blooming usefulness. They're working across here now, but still. They're pulling in some honey, which is good. So they're doing a good job. They found a bit of citrus, and there's some more brood there. I'm just wondering where the boss is. That's the next excitement, isn't it? They're a happy little crew too. Oh wow, look at that. That's a nice bit of solid pattern. Look at that. That could do. Oh, you're a good girl. Wonder where you are though. She's doing a good job. Can you see her? Hello! She's playing hide and seek as usual. Now this is the fun one. See if we can get this to wiggle. No, there's a whole sheet there that wants to stay behind. That's pretty cool. You had a pity you haven't got air vision. You can feel the breeze flying up here. You don't normally feel it with all the frames in the way. There'd be quite such a force. That's unreal. We'll take this bit off the wall first, and then we'll figure out what we're doing after that. You want to be very careful when you're playing around like this that you don't lose your queen, because that's sort of defeating the whole purpose. Yeah, unreal, isn't it? Look at that. See, now they've made all that honeycomb. That's only been a couple of weeks. They made all that honeycomb, laid all that brood. Look at that. This side's a little bit dodgy because that was against the box. But it's got some little youngsters in there. They're on a bit of an awkward angle. I was hoping I'd be able to pull that frame up and it just all come with me, but it's not going to be in it. No. Oh, ow, oh, I'm sorry. Oh, shit. Yo, they know how to sting at least. We don't want to lose all this hard work. I was just thinking, I don't think you brought any rubber bands, did you? No. Oh man. I had this vision in my brain that I was just going to hang the lid from the roof and it'll all be fun and games and nice and easy. I should know, shouldn't I? I've been beekeeper long enough now to know that it never quite goes to plan. It's just a slight change of plans. Since it's on the outside edge, I'm going to sit this frame back in there. I was actually going to put the queen excluder and pop them all above it. But I've had a different idea. Thinking on the run, is that what they call that? Oh, or changing plans as you go. It's called something like that. What is it called? It's called planned development, isn't it? When you change your mind. Or something. I don't know. If we were in a boardroom, it'd be called like R&D, wouldn't it? Research and development. I'm just changing my mind anyway. We're going to put this frame back in this box. So I've just got to get this bit of foundation off of here. Oh, look at that. So we've got percussions. I'm going to have to come up with a song now. Can you keep a beat? I'll put you on the drums.
Better than you can.
Oh, well, that wouldn't be hard. I got robbed in the rhythm department. So I'm just going to lay this on that frame. Make sure you haven't got the queen here that you're not going to squish her. Oh, not going to do that either. Because you don't want to be flattening the boss. That would never be a good idea. But I don't want to lose all that because that's a lot of hard work for the ladies to get all those babies organised. So I'm just going to sit that against that wall, but I'm going to put another frame next to it to hold it all together since we haven't got any bands. So I'm going to stick that there like that. And we'll come back and straighten it up a little bit later on. I reckon, rightio, that's pretty good, I reckon. We might tidy up the side of that one and stick another frame next to that. I think they've made a whole big lump here too on the edge of it. Oh, blooming heck, girls. What are you doing? See that nice sheet there? Can you see that sheet? That they've made on there where that was filling in the hole. They don't like to waste any space, they don't. They've done very well. They're not wasting any room, as usual. We might sit that on another frame and then we can make this all a little bit straightened up. So obviously if you were a little bit more organised than me, you would have had frames that didn't have any wax on them and you wouldn't have to go with all this trouble of taking the wax off. Because you would have been prepared. But if you do happen to be like me and turn up and you're not prepared, well, you can just peel the wax back off like that. I'm not sure what you do if you only had plastic frames. That could add another dimension to this problem. But then maybe you would have made sure you had it all in the box. But anyway, here we go, rescuing. We're doing a bit of rescuing here. Then we're just going to hang that frame just next to that frame. Just push that apart a little bit. Push that back onto there so they can get up there. So hopefully when they get things straightened out, we'll take those 3 frames out and put 3 fresh frames in there and they can start off and make it all pretty. But just for now, we don't want to waste all that hard work they've been to. The next drama is, what do we do with this lot? I don't know, how much honey have they got stored up in there? There's honey here though. You don't want to crush all that back on their head. So I think I'm going to go and get my bucket and I'm just going to take that honey out of the way so they don't... Because if you try to give them back that honey, when you knock it apart, you see this running down the lid here? All that's going to happen is that they're going to get stuck in that and you're going to have bees stuck out the front of you trying to lick each other clean or stuck to the bottom of your box. So really they're better off, unless they're starving, like if you've got them in a spot where they're really, we've got some more nectar going so it's all right. Unless they're really starving, they're better off not to have that honey scrunched up on their head. You can get, maybe you could put a hive mat there and let it sit on that, but it'll still run over the edges and it makes a hell of a mess. So we're going to put it in our bucket. Might even end up a good reason to show you the honey crushing system. Like the honeycomb crushing when we've got just little pieces rather than extracting. I'll just go and get me bucket and I'll be right back. Oh, Stroth, hold that thought. Yuck. It's all so sticky. Right, now, we nearly got everybody off. Go on, scoot, scoot. Right, so we'll just chop this in our bucket. Nice bit of citrus honey. Now we'll take the missus's candle making gear as well. I wonder what our ancestors, you know, the cavemen, when they first found honey, do you reckon they would have freaked out and gone, what the heck? How is that possible? How cool is that? Because they wouldn't have had any sugary, sweetie treats like we have. I don't think anybody actually knew what sugar was back in the day, did they? Well, I suppose somewhere in our ancestral excitements, wherever sugar cane came from originally, they must have been able to eat it. Anyway, I shouldn't be talking about sugar, that's the opposition. You want to get yourself some honey because that's got all the enzymes and cool shit in it that makes you healthy. So there's a little plug for our website if you want to get your taste buds on some real honey nectar of the gods. Oh, click on the page and check it out. Anyway, I've decided that we're just going to pop the lid back on and we're going to come back. We've entered into our little app that we're going to come back here and keep an eye on them because I reckon they've still got basically 2 frames here to fill. I mean, we could put a super on it if it was a fair way away and you weren't coming back for a little while, you pop your super on and give all of that, but just given what we're trying to achieve, because we're going to try and get rid of these 3 frames as soon as they get hooked together. We'll pop them above the excluder and it should be all tickety-boo. How cool is that? Can you see his little tongue sucking up the honey? All these girls are cleaning up too. Got her little tongue out. See her little purple tongue? Ready tongue. Sucking it up. And then there she goes. Now she's going to go back and try and store it all back in the hole that you want. So that's why when you disturb all that honeycomb, and especially honey, I mean brood comb's all good, but honey and honeycomb, and it all runs down the bottom, as I said, and it gets all in everything and it makes a hell of a mess. So you're way better off if you're going to do anything, you're going to feed them a little bit of syrup or something, just otherwise they'll get stuck in it. Just going to scrape this little bit of honey onto the ground. Try not to put it too close to the hive because it'll only just attract the ants. Sometimes when you're moving your hives and they've been on a heavy nectar flow and they haven't actually capped it as honey, they get into all sorts of trouble because the nectar rattles out when they're on the truck or the trailer or whatever you're moving them on. And so you've got to actually make sure when you get to your destination that everybody can get in and out pretty well. That's why it's good to good to unload them in the morning and hang around until things warm up. It's citrus honey too, so it's fairly thin, so it'll run pretty easily. Anyway, I reckon that's pretty good. We'll come back and review that in a fortnight or so and see what's happened. So that's one swarm box getting worked out. The next one could be even more fun. I thought this one was going to be simple and that to be complicated, so this has turned out complicated, so I'm not sure. Does that make that extra complicated? So don't forget to tune back in and you'll see on the next episode what I do in the next box. Hang on. Here we go, finding a flower, bringing home some powder, and some nectar too. Wonder if we'll be fed tonight. The queen's looking bright. Not sure about those drones. Think we're going to make them get another home. Bees, bees, bees. Oh, please, bees, bring me my honey. I don't know. There you go. Something like that.